Before we started working together, what was going on for you personally?
Yeah, so I was feeling trapped, I would say is the best description, pretty much all of my life. I've always wanted to be, for some reason, I've always wanted to be the extrovert. I'd seen other people that it's so natural to them to be out there and outgoing and confident, and that was never me. And because I wanted that so much, I was so trapped in myself and so frustrated and not really in a happy place. So yeah, it always felt like I had the ability to give more, but just couldn't. Something was holding me back, and I could never figure that out.
What was the final trigger point that enabled you say yes, yes to doing this work in your life for you?
Well, I've been thinking about doing something for a long while, but never actually going through with it. But I think as I became more in my later age, started to look at what I've achieved so far and think about what I could have achieved and thinking, time is going on. If I don't do something now, I never will. And it come to a point where I think I've really, really got to change the way that I'm living my life because I'm just stuck right now. And I feel as though I had so much more to give and I just didn't know how to. Yeah.
Yeah. What were the initial changes early on? Once you started the journey, what did you first notice started shifting for you?
So I think it's the way I started thinking about things. It's going from a thought process of saying, "Oh, I really don't want to do that. That is too much for me. I just want to stay away from that." This whole process, so like changing my thought process, helping me come out of my comfort zone bit by bit, and changing that thought process to, well, why not try it? Why not just go that little step out of your comfort zone? Why not see what happens? And is it as bad as what I fear it might be? And I think that change of mindset and that kind of shift to pushing myself a little bit more, just in small incremental steps, is what I first noticed that started to move me forward. It obviously led on to bigger things and more pushing and yeah.
Yeah, sure. So let's talk about that. What feels most different in your life now, in your relationships, in yourself, after having gone through and continuing on this journey that you've been on?
Well, my mind feels a lot freer. I'm able to express myself. I'm more open in my relationships. Situations that would scare the life out of me before, just I don't. I mean, I still get a little nervous about them, but I can go forward with them. I don't. There's no fear as such as actually going into those situations and being part of it. So I'm feeling a lot more inclusive with life now. I feel a lot more capable of being able to do things, getting more out of life than I had done before.
So good. I love that. So finally, what insight would you give someone who might be where it is that you once were? They're on the edge of wanting to start their journey. What insight or advice might you give to them?
Don't let the fear overtake you of doing this and look at what the possibilities are for going through the process because it is life changing. I know it's hard to get going, to get started, to take away that initial fear of going through this process and being vulnerable and opening up, but it is so worth it. It is worth the change that you will experience.
Yeah, nice. Thank you so much for sharing, Gary.
You're
Really appreciate
welcome.
that.